Good morning, friends. Today we are discussing about entity relationship modeling. Means it's also called basic building blocks of entity relationship model. It contains three types. First, first one entity, second one attributes, third one relationships. Okay, first one is entity. We are seeing entity. It is an object in real world that represents persons or place or anything. It is an rectangle symbol. Means entity name. This is rectangle symbol. Okay, entity name is given in noun form. Means entity name is given in noun form. Okay, means example we can see employee, person, student. Okay, next we can see any instant of entity is known as entity occurrence. An instance of entity is known as entity occurrence. Okay, now we can see next point. In entity, set of all entities is called entity set. Okay, set of all entity is called entity set. Means example student. Okay, here these are in entity, these are three types. In entity, these are three types. First is strong entity, second one we can see weak entity, third one we can see associative entity. Okay, now first we can see the strong entity. Strong entity means it is existence does not depends on any other entity. Okay, means it is a entity whose existence does not depends on other entities. First we can write definition. It is an entity whose existence does not depend on other entity. It has unique characteristic is called primary key. It is a main point. It has it has a unique characteristic is called primary key. This is very important. Okay, it is present in ear diagram by single rectangle. It is represented by single rectangle, means this is okay. It is also called owner entity. It acts as a owner entity. This is it is also called primary key field. We know about primary key. So primary key means it is unique as well as not null. It is used to in order to identify particular row in the table. Let the table contains files, so we can identify rows of primary key. So it is unique. It is rectangle means employee. Example we can take. It has employee name, employee number. It is represented by rectangle. So these are about strong entity. Now we can see the weak entity. Okay. Weak entity means its existence does not depends on the other entity. Okay. Weak entity means it is an entity whose existence depends on other entity. Okay. It is special key is there. It is called partial key. It divides the strong entity. Okay. It is an special key is partial key. Okay. It is represented in ER diagram by using double line rectangle. Okay. It is used in ER diagrams by using double line rectangle. Means this is the rectangle. Here weak entity we can show the double line. Okay, example we can take employee. It is a strong entity. This is the associated entity. Now this is the dependent, means weak entity. Okay, this is a weak entity. Example, weak entity means it is exam. Okay, now but weak entity was does not use primary key, it is only partial key, we know, but it is used in partial key. Here weak entity was represented by double line rectangle. Okay, let we have two entities. One is employee, another one is dependent. Entity, one entity is employee and two second entity is independence of a employee. Dependence means parents, wives, children. These are dependence and relationship has policy. Here relation was represented by diamond symbol. Okay, in order of associated by two entities, here employees have some policy. Dependent means corresponding employee. Here we can see employee strong entity. Employee strong entity. Why? Because it does not depends any entity. Here dependent means it was weak entity. Means this. Why? Because it was depending upon the employee. So that we can say weak entity. Here the relation represents the double diamond symbol. Okay. Why means it shows the relationship of strong and weak entity. So this double bond symbol, double diamond symbol, it is also called identifying a relation. It is also called identified a relation. Now here we can see one, two, many relation we can see. Means one employee and many means parents have, children have, wife have, so many etc. Okay. Why? Because here employee, here many dependents, let here attributes of employee is, okay, employee ID and another employee name. Okay, here ID is primary key. Okay, then it is represented by a line. Okay, primary key is represented by a line in round circle. Let dependence we can see the dependent name. So this is the partial key. We know that we can tell this is the partial key. It is denoted by straight line dots. Next attribute is the name and relation. Okay, dependent relation means here this is the primary key, here line is a partial key means dotted. Okay, dotted. And another you can see the third one means associated entity. Third one we can see the associated entity means a combination of a relationship and entity. Okay, it connects associative means of two or more entities. It connects the entities. Enrolling means many to many relationship. It represented by diamond. Okay, this is the associated. It connecting employee and dependent means one to many, many to one, many. Okay, this is represented by rectangle. We can see the definition. It connects of two or more entities. Okay, it connects entities enrolling many to many relationships. It connects enrolling many to many or one to many or many to one relationships. Okay, another we can see the when to create a associative entity we have to make the many to many relationship. We are the nodes. Okay, these are the entities we can see in the ER modeling. Okay, now we are discussing about the attributes. These are 9 types. Okay, we can see attributes. These are 9 types. First type we can see the simple attribute. Simple attribute means an attribute which can be further subdivided. It is called simple attributes. An attribute which can further subdivided. It is called simple attribute. Okay. Example we can see roll number, gender, class. Yes, so many examples are there. Now second attribute we can see composite attribute. Okay, composite attribute means an attribute which can be further subdivided. Okay, an attribute which can be subdivided. Okay, example we can take name means it have first, middle name, last. This is seen in application. When an application filling, it was asked first name and middle name as last name. This is the composite attribute. Another we can see subject. In the subject we can see subject code. Okay. Another we can see subject name. Next we can see maximum marks, means how many marks are gained in the subjects, means in final marks and internal marks. Okay, these are the composite attribute. Another we can see the third attribute is required attribute. An attribute which contain a value, only single value. Okay, an attribute which contain as a value, only single, means example hall ticket number, hall ticket number, and student name. Means here only hall ticket number means only one number, it is single or name. Okay, example you can take your hall ticket number or your name. This is the required attribute. Another one we can see the optional attribute. What is optional attribute? Means an attribute whose value is not compulsory. Okay, means we are use or not use, it is given in an application, means it is used in Google Forms. Okay, fourth one we can see optional attributes. Okay, an attribute whose value is not compulsory. Whose value is not compulsory, means example in Google Form we can see an email ID, we are give or not give, or vehicle, or your hall ticket name, means we must we give your hall ticket name. Okay, this is also not, means it is optional attribute. Here any forms we can see, of some forms in driving license we can see we compulsory is a vehicle, or another we can see means given a vehicle option, you can see we can take an optional attribute, means vehicle attribute also optional attribute. Okay, this is the optional attribute. We can go for fifth, means single valued attribute. An attribute that was only one value you can give. Means we can have an ATM pin. We can go to ATM to withdraw money. We can give the pin only single value, or we can put the passwords to ourselves, or any tabs or computers, or any such web browsers. Means we can give an only single value attribute. Okay, this is called an attribute. Okay, an attribute that was have only one value. Example, we can see the ATM pin. We must give, okay, password or any other patterns. These are single valued attributes. Now we can see multi-valued attribute. Means it is an attribute that takes multiple values. It represents by double oval shape. Sixth one we can see multi-valued attributes. It is an attribute that takes multiple values. It represents by double oval shape. Okay, this is a multi-valued attributes. It has example means phone number. This is a double oval shaped. And another one we can say phone number and address. Means a person phone number and address. Okay. Next, seventh one we can see derived attribute. Derived attribute means it is an attribute which is derived from other attribute. Okay. From other attribute. It is represented by dashed oval. Okay, understand? Means dashed oval. Means we can see round dashed cutting. Example, student we can take. Means our student has student number, another student name, and date of birth and marks. And derived attribute we can represent by age. Means student age, round circle. Okay, This is the derived attribute. Means it is attribute which is derived from an other attributes. Means we can see it is an age means student age. Means it is represented by dashed. Okay. Now we have going to another attribute. It is null attribute. Eighth one we can see null attribute. Null attribute means if an attribute contains null values, such attributes are called null attributes. Means means remarks is there. If an attribute contain null values, such attributes are called null attributes. Okay, example we can see remarks. It also represented by oval shape. It is a null. Okay, this is a null attribute. Now we can finally seeing the last attribute is identified attribute. This is so important. Identified attribute. Okay, it is an attribute which identifies a record uniquely. It is represented by oval symbol, means underline. Okay, uniquely means we can see the no duplicates. It is an attribute which identify a record uniquely. It is represented by oval symbol in underlined. We tell in previous it is represented by oval symbol in underline. Example we can take employee. This is the strong entity. Okay, this is the diamond symbol, means it is telling associated entity. Okay, this is the dependent means weak entity. It has name, relation. Okay, here employee has phone number and it has name. Name we can see the first name, middle name, last name in competent in, you can see the composite attributes. Okay, okay, this is the composite attribute, means sub means name, first name, middle name, last name. These type of we can take in this first, middle, last name. and employee has number. Okay, and employee when it is joined means date of joined, and it has experience, employee has experience, it has denoted by dashed oval. This is the has, employee has dependent means it has a relationship with parents or children's and family members also there. Okay, this is the what rectangle. Okay, we can say that this is the ER model of modeling. ER modeling, basic building blocks of entity relation model. This is the entity, we can say about entity and attributes. Okay, thank you.